Hi Mikel.
Hello.
Welcome back. Happy new season, as they're saying these days.
Thank you.
Another London derby to start a new season. Does it feel very different going into this one from this time last year?
Well, it is different. Obviously, everything that happened before that game was pretty strange and unique. The preparation, the preseason that we had, different context. We are really excited. We're looking forward to the new season. Try to start it the best possible way, and this is how we have focused our preparation.
Does this feel, perhaps for the first time since you've been here since 2019, that this is a start for you where this is fully your team, your ideas, the players you want? Picked a new captain.
It's always been my team because this is our players, and always we have had the intention to get the best out of them. It's true that obviously we have streamed the squad and changed the squad massively in the last 2 windows, especially, and you feel that now the players that we have are more specific and better to the way we want to play, basically.
You brought in new signings. A lot of people are focusing obviously on Gabriels, who's come in. He's the man who's supposed to score goals for you and so on. Is the expectation huge on Gabriels who's coming into this new season? Is the guy that's going to transform and kick you on perhaps to the next level?
When you bring top players, you know that they are coming from top clubs and they've been extremely successful over the years. They're going to expect that the role that Gabi has here is going to be very different to the role that Gabi had in his previous club, and that needs some adaptation and some time. He's done it fantastically well, and we're all surprised how quickly he's done it, but we have to share that responsibility, and he's an enormous talent, a player with a mentality that is so contagious and is going to give us a lot, but it's a team contribution at the end of the day.
If I could just ask you about Palace, of course, you played them not that long ago, and you lost them. You came out and apologised after that game because of the Arsenal performance there. A lot of people are talking about Arsenal, what they might do this season, but what about Crystal Palace? Because they showed at the back end of last season under Patrick Vieira that they're really heading in the right direction.
They showed last season how tough they are, how difficult they are to beat, and how consistent they were at home, especially against the big teams, that they got some great results. They had that result against us, and hopefully we learned a lot of lessons that day, because especially 30 minutes that we had on that game were nowhere near the standards that we needed, and we paid the price for it.
James from Sky Sports.
Hi Mikel.
Hello.
Just how excited are you for the new season, and how pleased are you with the players you've been able to bring into the club this summer?
I think we are all enthusiastic. We had the pre-season that we wanted. It was well organized. We had good results, good performances, good preparation, but now the ball starts to roll tomorrow evening in a completely different context against a Premier League team, and we know what to expect there. But it's true. We are with this level of energy and ambition to have a successful season, and we have to show down on the pitch tomorrow night.
I imagine all your focus now is on Crystal Palace, but are you expecting there to be any more players coming in and departures as well from the club?
We are really active, as you can see, with coming ins and outs. Everything is still open, it's still a long window. It's a lot happened. It's incredible how many business the club have already done across the Premier League, and shows how competitive this is, and it's not going to stop that. Players are going to have the needs to leave, some others to move, and everything is open still.
The first 3 episodes of the All or Nothing documentary is out today. There's been a lot of talk in the build-up to some of the trailers that have been released this week. Has that been a distraction at all?
No, well, the distraction or the attraction was last year having them here every single day. But at the end, we try to work together, try to make sure that that whatever is produced is the reality of how this football club is run, the passion of its people, the aims and responsibility that we all have to make it work, and how much we care and love the club, and how much enjoyment we want to bring to our people.
Do you have a quick update on an injury front? Smith Rowe, Tierney, Tomiyasu, and when do you think we'll see Vieira in action?
Well, 3 out of 4 of those probably they're going to be trained this afternoon, and if everything was well, they will be available for selection in the squad. So hopefully we're going to start to recover, because they've been missing a lot of minutes and time in pre-season, and are really important players for us.
And finally for me, Mikel, Premier League captains, they've decided to reduce how often they're going to be taking the knee this season. What do you make of the decision to no longer make it a routine?
that hopefully is equally productive, and we still send a very important message. As a club, we want to obviously express that equality is a massive thing for us, that everybody is welcome in our football club, in our industry, hopefully, and we need to maintain to be strong on that message.
Ian from Talksport.
Hi Mikel, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good to see you again. A lot of expectations on Arsenal this season. I've got a lot of friends, but I've got friends who are Arsenal fans who are telling me they're definitely going to finish top 4.
It's great that people are excited, but I think there is a big excitement across the Premier League because a lot of clubs have done a lot of businesses. They are getting stronger and stronger, and the competition is really big. We focus on what we can do, what we want to do, and we want to be at the top of that table.
You mentioned how last season, obviously, you got off that dreadful start at Brentford, but there were extenuating circumstances. This season looks like it's going to be a lot more, in inverted commas, what we were used to before the pandemic. So does that increase the pressure on you, the fact that this is your first full season whereby there'll be no excuses for
Well, watching the pressure that I had after one game, I don't think it's going to be bigger than that, because at the end of the day, people doesn't want to look at the context, just looks at the result and what happened and how we started. And at the end of the day, we're going to be judged on whether we win football matches or not. Ian. It's as simple as that.
You've chosen Martin Odegaard as captain. Can I ask you, first of all, why? What does he bring to the role? And secondly, in the last few years, it's not exactly been a role where some players have thrived. It's been maybe a bit of a curse for them.
Well, this season we had the opportunity to do it in the way that I believe could work. Picking a player, in this case Martin, that has been with us for 18 months, that in my opinion represents the values of this football club in the perfect way. Is well respected by everybody around the team, is admired by all the staff. He has the experience, even if he's 23, because he's done it to the national team. And then he's got that drive, that passion about this game that promotes every single day he's around the place and the way he plays. So I'm really happy to have someone like him, and he's on board. He's joining that responsibility, and he will need support, but for sure it's a huge thing for him as well.
Is there still a leadership group as well?
There is, yes.
There is. Can I finally ask you, within the documentary you revealed about the heart surgery you had as a youngster, and life-saving, and obviously life-changing for you. Does that, in a way, put into perspective? Here we are, ahead of the season, we're going to be here every week asking you questions, you're going to be under pressure or not under pressure. In a way, does what you've gone through from when you were a kid put into perspective your job now, the job you're in now?
Sometimes you forgot that the cameras were there. That's what happens, Ian, and you open up. At the end, what is pressure? Comparing with what? So there are people that have jobs that their pressure is much higher because they are living and making decisions that are going to make someone to keep living his life or go to another place. And what we do is try to win football matches, try to bring enjoyment and fun to our people, and play a game that is beautiful, but at the same time it's so unpredictable. And sometimes we need to look things with a bit of perspective as well.
Thanks, Mikel. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. George from BBC.
Thanks, Dan. Mikel, hello.
Hi.
In the time that you've been here, do you think this is the most excited you've been as a manager because of the players you've got at your disposal this season?
You try every day to be more excited and love more your players and feel more privileged of where you are. The more things that you do that are more related with the way you feel, and you feel and you share that feeling with the club like we do, I think then becomes a common thing that at the end is not about me, it's about how we all feel about what we are doing, that we all feel integral part of it, especially our supporters. And if we do that, then I always said that this becomes very, very powerful.
When you rang up Pep Guardiola and said you want Gabriels, Jesus, and then you rang him back and said you want Zinchenko, what did he say?
It wasn't exactly like that. I cannot tell you how it was. What I can tell you is that this works both ways, and both parties have to be happy to do that. And we discussed, especially he was telling me that two phenomenal people that he's losing or giving away. I know them. I know how privileged we are to have them, and I'm really happy. That's all I can say.
I imagine you need to get some players out. Can you just give us what happened with Bernd Leno letting him go and what's going to happen with Hector Bellerin, please?
Well, with Ben at the end, it was just a professional relationship that it was difficult to sustain, obviously, because he's a player that in the last 11 years always has started games, that he's so used to it. He's an international player. But then I spoke to him last night. It's a man that he will be remembered here. It's a privilege. It's been a privilege to work with him. But in football, you have to make decisions and try to get the best out of your players, to play the way you want to play. And Ben has found a move that he's really happy with, his family happy with, and we all at the club wish him all the best.
And just the last one, have you set a target of 0 red cards for your players this season after what happened last year?
I told you last time it's better not to talk about it, and the less we talked about it, I think the better it comes, so hopefully we can achieve that.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Finally, in the broadcast section, James from ESPN.
Hi, Mikel. Just to clarify on the team news, Tomiyasu, Tierney, Smith Rowe and Vieira, you said 3 of those 4 were training. Who's the player who isn't?
Good question. You will find out tomorrow.
Just on 2 of them, on Tierney and Tomiyasu, they've had persistent injury problems last season. Do you have any concerns about their long-term fitness? Do you think that they're going to have problems they're going to have to manage going forward?
Hopefully no, and the reason why they got those persistent injuries are for different reasons, probably because the squad as well didn't enable them to recover and don't play them when it was necessary, when it was too tight, or when they didn't fully recover, and sometimes we have to rush them. It was a combination of it. What I can tell you, those 2 players are so pushy and willing to contribute with the team, and this is what we've done. And we know that with those 2 fit and performing at their best, we are much stronger as a team.